This is a compassionate meditation to help you explore perfectionism and to live a life that's meaningful to you, even if the perfectionism's there. So to begin with, to help us get centered in our body and to turn inward for this meditation, I invite you to get into a comfortable position, either lying down or sitting, and to take a few deep cleansing breaths. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Let your gaze soften and your eyelids to close either partially or fully. Let your breath return to its own natural rhythm and pace. You're not trying to control your breath. You're just allowing your breath to be as it is naturally. Noticing that your breath has its own natural rhythm, and that with each in-breath and out-breath, breath has the ability to cradle you and to rock you gently, as if it was rocking a small child or waves on an ocean. Now I want you to imagine that you have a part of you that's a perfectionist part of you. That this perfectionist part of you is not the entirety of who you are, but it's a part of you that maybe has some kind of function that we can explore during today's meditation. So if you as your core self was a non-judgmental and curious observer of your experience in this perfectionism, and you see this perfectionism as a separate part of yourself, I want you to ask this perfectionism, what purpose do they serve? So this might be a purpose of trying to maybe protect you from something, like a fear of failure, being humiliated, or some other type of purpose. Allowing your core self that's non-judgmental to explore what function this perfectionism serves. Now take a moment to ask this perfectionism, this perfectionistic part of you, how long they've been with you. Is this a new part of you that only has surfaced in the last couple of years or maybe last couple of months? Or has this perfectionism been a part of you for a long time? If this perfectionism had an age, what age would this perfectionism be? Again, remaining non-judgmental and curious at the same time. We're just exploring the perfectionistic part of you to try to get a better understanding of what their role is and how long they've been around. So more often than not, this perfectionism likely has been a part of you for a very long time. It may have even come around sometime in your childhood. Just acknowledging how long this perfectionism has been a part of you, and again, remaining curious and non-judgmental. Now that you've identified an age of this perfectionistic part of you, I want you to again ask this perfectionistic part of you what their purpose is. If they had a role to help keep you safe, or to help support you in some way, or maybe to help hold some type of pain that you've experienced, what role would it be? So often, the role of perfectionism in our life stems from some kind of insecurity, of a fear of failure, or concern of being humiliated, not being good enough. Whatever that role might be, just letting your core self get a better understanding of the role of this perfectionism, as it is in a non-judgmental but curious way. Now, in addition to your core self having the ability to be curious and non-judgmental, your core self also has the ability to be compassionate towards the perfectionistic part of you that's likely tried to protect you in some way all of these years, or may even be trying to protect you now. So to express this compassion towards the part of you that's perfectionistic, I want you to directly express gratitude towards that part of you by thanking them for all of the hard work that they've done all of these years to try to protect you from failing, protect you from being humiliated, or to try to help you with something else. I know this might seem a little bit different to actively turn towards the part of you that's perfectionistic and express gratitude, but I challenge you to just give it a try. See what happens when you turn towards this part of you that maybe at times you've actively tried to avoid or push away. Now, how does that perfectionistic part of you respond to your core self expressing qualities of compassion towards it and gratitude? You may notice a sense of relief, or you may notice some sadness that's there, or some feelings of being maybe misunderstood all these years. Allowing your core self to be there with the perfectionistic part of you as you try to understand what this perfectionism is all about, and you listen to what this perfectionism has to say and how hard they've worked to try to help you and protect you in some way all of these years. Maybe there's a sense of fear that's there, and the perfectionism is stemming from that fear of failure, or if you don't get things exactly right, then you're going to be found out in some way or something else. Let the compassionate, core self that's curious, non-judgmental, not only express gratitude for how hard this perfectionism has worked to help support you and try to protect you all of these years, but to reassure this perfectionistic part of you that it's okay for them to step back for a while, and that it's okay to not get things right all of the time, to sometimes maybe mess up, or to sometimes just allow yourself to be human. In order to help you express the importance of you being able to be human and let that perfectionistic part of you take a step back for a while, I want you to think of what kind of life you want to be living, what kind of values you have, what things are important and meaningful for you. So if you have a value of living an authentic life, and that's the kind of person that you want to be, is authentic, you're just thinking of what things are important to you and what kind of life you want to be living. So for instance, the perfectionistic part of me might tell me that I need to get things exactly right during this meditation, but the part of me that understands my value of being helpful to people and of being compassionate towards people and myself understands that what's most important for me is to live a life by my values, even if that means that I'm not getting things perfect during today's meditation. It might feel scary to start taking steps in this direction in terms of your values, instead of letting yourself be held back and be fearful, living under the guise of perfectionism. But at the end of the day, living a life in terms of the things that are important to you is what really matters. You're not dismissing the parts of you that are perfectionistic. You're just allowing them to have a break for a while, so you can work on living a life of meaning and a life that aligns with things that are important to you and your values. And as we get ready to end this meditation, taking one last moment to sit with the perfectionistic part of you and acknowledging the hard work that they put in for so many years in trying to protect you from being hurt or from failing, protect you from something else. But at the same time, also sitting with things that are important to you, which are your values and the life that you want to be living. Bringing your awareness now back to your breath and your breath's natural rhythm and pace. Allowing your breath to center you and your body. Gently waking your body up by wiggling your toes and wiggling your fingers, using some other type of gentle movement. When it feels right, opening your eyes to bring yourself fully back into the present moment and your environment. Scanning your environment, noticing any shapes or colors that you see, and also noticing any sounds that you might be hearing in your environment. And remembering that we all have different parts of us, and at our center we have the capacity to express compassion towards ourselves and to be curious with ourselves in a non-judgmental way. And to help you do this, you can always return to this meditation anytime that you need to help you explore this compassionate part of you that's non-judgmental and the parts of you that have worked hard over many years to try to protect you, like perfectionism has.